Hey, peace, power, and profit, everyone. Well, I noticed today that we have there's going to be some layoffs. There's going to be some layoffs, and so um the title of the show is Mutual Aid Projects. Now, do you get it? I hear a lot of commentary about the community working together, putting plans together that will be beneficial to helping each other out. And so I'm wondering, and then sometimes, I'm amongst groups and they'll say, well, Mo, we've always been able to survive through the toughest times. And so I sit back and I ask myself, like, that may be so, but to me, it seems like we were able to do so because we were actually coming from tough times. So we were kind of working our way up. Whereas now we have a lot of complacency. We were we were locked out of many opportunities. And so when doors would open, it would just be something added to what we needed, but we already had we were in a farming, and we were growing our foods, and we were bartering, trading with each other, and we were sewing clothing, and we had chickens, and we were laying eggs, and we were preserving. um let's do a poll. If you went door to door in your neighborhood, how many of the homes would have survivor skills? The simplest taskings: making clothing, preserving preservatives, planting the simplest foods, uh, mechanical skills, hunting skills, fishing, um, have a actual disaster plan. You know, how many? I don't know. I see a few boats around here, so I suspect if we was to get flooded, some folks would get out of here because they have some boats. I have a few blow up mattresses. I'm sure I can float away. Hey, what's up, Brother Reggie? Let me know if you want to join the panel. Want to talk to us, sister? It's just me. And so, as I reflect on what's going on, I was having a conversation with a community group, and they were saying, Monique, I hear you, but a lot of people are going to lose their benefits. They're going to lose their Medicaid. They won't be able to go to the doctors, and they're going to lose their SNAP benefits. They won't get EBT, and they won't be able to eat. And they're going to lose, they're the jobs that they currently have will not offer them, or if they offer more hours, they're not going to pay them a livable wage. And we just passed this energy bill in Carolina, and our utilities are going to go up. We just don't know what to do, right? And so it's like, I mean, it's easier said than you. So I'm like, well, you guys said that we've always been able to survive. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, do you know how to galvanize? Are you affiliate with organizations who have a plan in place to help a group of people? Do you have a plan in place to help yourself and your family and your household? Right? What's your plan? Talk to me. Do you currently live in a food desert? Do you have pigs in your backyard? Do you have chickens? Right? Do you have a pond with fish? Do you live near a bayou or river or ocean where you can go and catch some fish? Do you own a boat? Do you have friends who own a boat? Do you even know how to fish? What are your survival skills? Have you even thought about it? Are you a federal employee? Do you fear for your job right now? Are you are you um or maybe you're okay. Maybe you're employed and you make enough money, you're sustaining your household and you're cool. You're cool. Maybe you live in a neighborhood. Maybe you live in a neighborhood and everything is going well. You know, you don't have any you're not worried about losing out on anything. Well, I can tell you just a few tips. Especially here, if you're concerned about energy bill, I would contact my energy company and tell them that you want to put a cap on your monthly rates because this is all you can afford. So you don't want to be in jeopardy of having high utility bills, right? Maybe you want to, if you're a part of a group, are you interested in the group, or maybe it's just you and your significant, or you and a friend, you and a cousin, a family member, and you want to put a plan together, or you want to save for your rainy day, you know, your investment plan. You want to safeguard some funds so that you still want to outline a budget on how you're going to spend those funds so that you can uh, survive. I know there's one part of the Bible that if I didn't learn nothing else, I learned this part right here. It used to say, save up, um, work enough for 3 years that you can survive 3 years plus 1 year. So I used to when I used to work, I used to always make sure I could put money away so that for some reason I in my mind I used to think that I would have enough money that if I didn't get a raise for 3 years, well 4 years, that I could still survive because I put enough money away that it would carry me over even during emergencies. So um even if you're on a fixed income, right? Um, do you, if you live alone and you have an extra room, do you rent out your room? Do you Airbnb it or do you get a roommate, right? Or do you have working adults in your home and you ensure that everybody is contributing and that the burden doesn't fall on just one person? I don't know. Talk to me. What's up, Chris? Chris,
What's going on?
what's up? We're talking
Huh?
about survival.
Talking about what?
A mutual aid project but from back in the day. Do you think now we're thinking about starting those, or can you put those into action with your friends or your family or your current
Oh,
significant?
like mutual aid, like helping people out with like disasters and like relief and
Or
all of that.
helping yourself?
I mean, people should have that anyway. At this point, it should be common sense to be doing that.
I'm talking about now. Do you have one? Do you have your survivor plan in place? I'm getting mine together.
Yeah, it's called biology. You either what's the saying? Kill or be killed. That's my mentality. With or without resources. No power, you better learn how to start a fire, use some electrical equipment, something. It's called survival tactics.
Well, I'm gonna learn how to.
Better learn how to hunt. I learned how to hunt young. So yeah, learn how to plant, farm and all of that. Agriculture.
I know how to. I don't know how to farm, but I'm gonna learn how to do some simple things here soon.
You know how to
Um,
start a fire?
nope. I I used to try. I've participated in an activity, but I don't think I was successful. So I need to learn. Um, I have some survival skills, but not many. I have some survival skills, but I need to sharpen and add.
You know, some modern conveniences that's good is one, a grill.
Oh yeah,
Having a
because you can use wood trips.
yeah, yeah,
I need to get me a grill. I had one. I don't have one now. I don't
yeah.
think I do. It's probably in the back. I'm not sure. Yep. I know when the hurricane happened in Louisiana, my cousin, man, he was cooking for everybody in the neighborhood. He pulled out the grill and he was like, shoot, I'm not starving. I'm not eating no MREs. He was cooking on that grill every day.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mhm. What's up, Dr. Reggie?
Well, uh,
What's up, Reggie?
Sister Dr. Mo Lamb and Brother Chris Peace.
Peace.
So, what I find that um, is that we're too proud to even go to free food banks and to um, churches and get on a line where you can get canned food, right?
Hmm.
We just too
Oh
proud
no,
to do that.
oh no, we ain't
Yeah.
Right?
proud now. We give our
Yeah.
food at my, but you're right.
No,
Yeah.
we proud. Most black folks are too proud. They give free food, definitely free from all types of places, churches, food.
Mm,
Uh, uh, there's so much, but in
Hmm.
like in New York, why are you going to do that when we got fat homeless people, obese, right? So
Hmm.
the problem is, and when you go to the supermarket, you should always buy some beans. You should always buy some canned food.
mhm,
Just spend $4 or $5 worth of that, right?
Hmm.
And then over time, you have a whole cabinet full,
Yeah.
right?
yep.
And so like where okay, so I live on the 28th floor, believe it or not. I live on the
Damn.
28th floor. Uh, in my so the power goes out occasionally, right? That means the elevator goes out occasionally, right?
Mm,
Um,
Hmm.
but so I have a not a generator, but I have a battery that I keep charged, right?
Right.
mhm.
Because I can't if my power goes out and my phone goes out, if something happens, I can't even call for help. I have a fire extinguisher, right?
Mm,
And
Hmm.
uh, I need to collect more canned foods, right?
mhm.
I certainly do, but that for a lot of people, that's the difference between life and death.
That's
And
true.
so,
Yeah.
and what when I envisioned the Black City Plan, right? The Black City Plan talked about municipalities um, and city and county run grocery stores and food places, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
Um, we're just not unprepared, and I have to admit, look, I like my food with rigor mortis. It got to be on the truck, right? It got to be on the truck for a week, right? So, because I know in the supermarkets around here, they've been on a. I don't care how fresh you think it is. It's been on the truck for more than 10, 12 hours, right?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's just a lost cause for our people until they're in dire straits. And then they want to complain about why these things aren't in place. So we become a welfare people because we don't have a plan.
Mm. Ooh. Ooh. You said, man, you just said a mouthful. But you know, I'm glad you brought up your Black City plan, because we used to talk about your Black City plan a lot. Um we have a township here, the town of Eastover, and it's Black ran.
Hmm.
And they're trying to get some things going right now. And I need to, matter of fact, let me see if I can, let me bring it up. Isn't it still on? Is it, can I Google it?
Well, it
I,
used to be it should be the blackcityplan.com or blackcityplan.com, right? I might have to update. I think I gotta check because I gotta notice. I might have to update the link because sometimes it expires, and so I might have to put it back up.
Let me see.
But there are a few shows that I talked about it. The Happy, but if you want it as a document, then what I can do is send it to you. Um,
You got it as a book though, ain't it?
yeah, well, it's an electronic publication like a PDF.
Yeah, is it like you sell it?
No, I
Yeah, I need
I
you.
have a moral no, I have a moral compass that there are things that I do as an African descendant that I do for free, and and I that I pay myself. Now there are other things that I do, and I might ask for a cash app, but nevertheless, the Black City Plan was since 2019, it was for free, right? And I will re-put it back up. But our at some point, you get into a point where people don't want help. They don't want to know a plan. They like to recite things that don't work, or and people say, well, I got Powernomics. I believe in Powernomics, so I believe in the blueprint for black. The blueprint for what is it? The blueprint for
Black Power.
uh, black power. Um,
Hmm.
but that there are not elements in it really for survival. So this is a survival show, and the bigger picture is what do you do in your neighborhood, in your county, right? What resources, and you always do this. You give people so many resources, and sister, I understand because like on my show I get really low views, but I give a lot of information. You actually give as much or more information on every show, but the people don't come. What they want to come for is to see the latest breakup, the you know, I don't want to get myself in more trouble about what people want to watch as far as entertainment, right? The Diddy trial was in New York. I was there the first day. Y'all don't know, huh? I got uh I got into a physical confrontation on the first day,
Mm.
right? Yeah, I have. I just didn't put it up because I don't want the drama, but I was filming Jaguar Wright. She let me film her, no problem. Then I was trying to get some B-roll to get more footage for a show, and her bodyguards didn't want me to film something later, and I was just getting B-roll. I wasn't even trying to get the conversation, and they put their hands on me.
Oh.
And yeah, and this is in Federal Plaza, right? And I was like, uh, you know, big bodyguard tried to put his hands on my neck, and he got upset. He got upset when uh, I, 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 um, I pushed him and took his hands off my neck. He was trying to do some fake karate move, right,
Mm.
on me, but kind of and I said, you know what? This is just a warning for me. Let me just go back to doing what I'm doing instead of trying to be a journalist out here. But nevertheless, the point of it is we have local food banks. We have plenty of churches that are on the schedule that get out food, canned foods. If you don't want the potatoes and the tomatoes and all that stuff, okay, that's perishable. You don't need that. If it because you bushy, right? You bushy. So, but you can collect the canned food.
So
So,
Reggie, I found your video on the Black City plan. Can I play it? It's only an hour.
which one? The happy version?
Yeah.
The happy version is the happy version is the best version
I,
that I was
I,
able to talk. But yeah, you can play pieces of it, of course. Um, but when you go on these other platforms, they get funny
oh,
sometimes. So you have to put in you have to make a
oh,
reaction video. You just can't play it. You gotta
oh, I have to
stop and talk.
I'll get off of Garfield channel. I can play it on mine and then I could just take it off later. Mine is not
Yeah,
monetized.
yeah. So but the happy. I wish the happy people would strike me. I wish they would. Right? You know, I mean, I really wish, because then I could tell it all. Right? I could tell it all. But yeah, so I wish. But
So I can play
the
a little bit and then we can
yeah,
commentary. You can play a little bit and
yeah,
then commentary.
you can start it and stop it. But
Okay.
the sister that interviewed me, Felicia, she is wonderful. She's a wonderful sister, and that was her first show. Now she has maybe about 50 interviews or so, but I was her first, right? And I so appreciate it. But there's some politics on this. But anyway, I don't want to. But yeah, but if we do not have a plan, and what is our best plan? So before you even play it, what is our best plan to deal with municipalities, to deal with city and state laws, county laws? What to deal to build things like a Black Wall Street, right? Corridors, because you can't do nothing if you can't control your local laws. Your
Right.
local laws will open up real estate. It
Right.
will open up after hours for schools. Schools is your tax dollars. So
Right.
why aren't in those schools from, let's say, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock? Why aren't we teaching other skills to adults that
That's what
are,
I said.
huh?
That's what I said. Like, in the after school programs is where we need to be getting in our additional learnings, not relying on the school hours because those are governed by Department of Education, curriculum requirements. But we have other opportunities, like you mentioned, the after school hours. So here in the Carolinas, Reg, we have right now, they're pulling money out of the public schools and they're pushing money into the private schools.
Yeah. Mhm. Charter
So,
schools, right?
right, I
But you
play.
have real estate, for example, historical Black colleges. Why,
Yeah,
why, why, why? In New York, for example, in City College in New York University, adults can take courses, right, at a low cost, right?
right, right,
Problem is this, we don't see that as a model for getting people back into the workforce, right? And so because we don't push for that, then there's all these private interviewers, and then there's something called WeWork.
mm-hmm,
These
yep,
right. So schools and universities, right? Uh, they can open up structures to teach skills. We want to go to a lecture about ancient Egypt, or we want to go to a lecture about, you know, about some of these other topics. But ultimately, they don't do nothing for us. It builds some esteem. Um, People that I walk into the museums and stuff like that, they're looking at this stuff for the first time, and most of the time they're not going to do anything with the stuff that I teach them. They're not. It's just entertainment. They want to do it for their own personal, but they ain't gonna feed your ass. It's not gonna feed your family.
I
They're not.
definitely took the info and did something with it. I appreciate it, Reggie.
Well, I'm glad y'all my family. That's why I'm on the show. But the bulk of them, these people, they want to contrast their religious views and things like that. It helps you mentally, but learning math, science, learning business, learning new skills. Like AI is taking over the world, and now in Europe they're putting in robots. They're putting in robots for in warehouses and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and they're and so uh, people have lost so many jobs. The people that were at the the booths, or all of the things that you think have been replaced. So before, you have booths staffed by by people taking money for bridges and tunnels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's gone. All
Mm-hmm.
of those workers are gone. Now they're going after the warehouses.
And federal.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So soon, uh, post offices are going to be hit, and so this generation, our our grandchildren, um, there's going to be nothing for them. And then and you know what? We have converted our food gardens, right,
Mm-hmm.
into flower gardens and garage space,
Mm.
places to park our Lexuses, our BMWs, right? So we looked at, nah, I don't want to. I don't want a garden, a food garden. I want what I want is a place to park my cars, my 3, 4 cars, right? Um, we, it's so much that we can do, and it's so much on YouTube. It's just so much on YouTube as far as survival technology and stuff like that. We we would rather watch a debate between some religion, right, that don't work. It didn't work for the people in Texas. All those
Mm.
people, God, their God did not help their asses, right?
Mm.
Sure didn't.
Right? But we still gonna be in church making Jesus our personal savior. He's your personal savior. He ain't the people.
Hmm.
Am I breaking up?
We just a little Saturday. Let me mute while you talk. Go ahead.
So we need a plan. We need a plan for our people. But what I have found is that our people or have become selfish, have become city people. They look down on those on hard work, right? They prefer, television shows and stuff have taken up our time. We don't even read books anymore. We need a plan. And so I just find, yeah, my Black City plan, I could push it. But, I have competitors, people out there talking about building schools uh, that ain't never built, but people will donate that to me. And I know it. I may not be articulate. I may not be the preacher. I'm gonna give you information. You're gonna give information. Chris is gonna give information. We're gonna give things that you actually have to develop skills for. They don't have that time. But what it is now they don't have jobs. So now everybody's on YouTube trying to, and YouTube loves it. Everybody's on YouTube now trying to get monetized. You know how we've been exploited on YouTube? But YouTube is easy because you could just click on a show, right? But some people have been doing it for a long time. Yeah, they are successful. But most people, do you know how hard it is to get 4,000 watch hours? Right? To get 4,000 watch hours. I'm not monetized. I don't have 4,000 watch hours because I refuse to go on every day and talk about stuff. And even when I get monetized, how much money am I gonna get? I'm getting pennies, and I'm getting pennies on a dollar, or percentages of pennies on a dollar. And then the music industry is wrecked. So if you want to put your music on those channels, Spotify, you're not making any money. You're just getting graped. You're getting graped. So we need a plan, but I always say that it's crisis. It's only when it's crisis, and most of the time it's too late, right?
Right.
Yes, it's just too late. So if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. Simple as that.
So, um, so we have a community project plan here, and one of the dilemmas I'm having is that the community, well, well, I'm having a hard time with the community because on one hand, community is rural, a lot of private owned land, a lot of agriculture, and they're not really interested in economic development as it relates to bringing in businesses. And then on the other hand, they they don't have enough young folk involved with the farming to keep the farming going to increase economic development so that they can have some type of sustainable income coming in that area. And so we're getting ready to do a needs assessment to figure out. So there's a lot of housing developments coming up because of course people um some people are selling and developers are coming in and they're putting up affordable housing, but some people are being locked out of those because if it goes up income based, that means that um if you make a certain dollar amount, you won't be able to live there anyway. So it's like a double-edged sword. You have those who are poverty stricken who can afford it, and then you have those who can afford it and still can't live there. And then you have those individuals um who are relocating into the area and who are like, well, I didn't move here to for the rural area to look like the city. I moved to the country. So they are voting against development. And then you have your government or your individuals who are sitting in your county council who are saying, okay, I'm doing my town halls. I'm giving my notices to the people. Here's our comprehensive plan. We have a potential of 70,000 people who are going to be moving in these areas in the next year. Here's our potential growth area, and and we're saying, okay, um, are you guys do you have any idea of what you would like to see there? And so I'm telling them, like, yeah, you may want to see a particular department store or um some type of manufacturing, but if they're not coming in to pay you some type of livable wage, you're going to be stuck. Or if you're going to get another nuclear plant or some data center that's going to just cause pollution and we just got deregulation, you're going to have health problems. So it's like a two-inch sword right now.
Because we don't have a plan
Mm-hmm.
and we don't think in generations, and we need to reboot, and it's only conditions that's going to unite us, and sometimes it's too late. And And it's just not black folks that's going through this. It's all of America.
Everybody
Certainly
now.
white folks. Huh?
Yeah, it's everybody now.
It's just everybody now. And so you have these big developers doing exactly what you're saying, building these data centers. Um, and why? Because it's the city councils or the county councils, they just say, okay, well that's income, and
Yep.
a lot of times they get a kickback,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we don't have a plan, and it's hard. I'm now 60 years old. Actually, I'm more than older than 60 years old at this point, and I just find that if it's not a condition, we're not going to we're not motivated to listen. You're not motivated to put canned food in your damn cupboard, right? You're not motivated to have a garden, right? You're just not motivated to do any hard work, even though you do hard work for your employer. So you
Mm.
don't want to come home. And so Booker T. Washington, one thing he found out is that um, he learned his structure is really a military structure,
Mm-hmm.
disguised as something else, right? So his whole structure are barracks. And if you look back in history, you find other cultures that actually didn't have ancient cultures. Uh, they were military run, and so they were motivated because they had someone to tell them to do. We have too much free will, right? But
Uh-oh.
or huh? Say what?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we have too much free will. Black folks don't want to follow black folks uh, unless they can get some prestige or something out of it, right? They don't look in the church. You have deacons, right? They're involved in the church because they are deacon. That makes them better than the regular parishioners, right? They get some type of privilege. We're the only group of people, uh, and we get who don't understand this, and we're getting our ass handed to us by these groups of migrants that came in, right? Because guess what? They come from places where they are organized, right? And they have structures, invisible structures that we don't know or we don't pay attention to, like the cartel. Uh, Everybody knows in those communities who the big man is, right? Who
Yep.
the big man is, right? And they follow. Uh, they, in one sense, they don't have any choice to follow. They're in a foreign land, and they have to follow the structure that is out of America. So, so it's only a few of us that do work that actually read history. That and and then we have our families like in New York, the majority of the black families in New York, the lower classes, you know where their money goes to? Not college, bail, bail.
Mm.
They're always bailing somebody out, right? They're always
Mhm.
trying to, and then the people that they're bailing out, their family members are not following the rules, so they lose property, they lose houses. Why? Um, because their own families are against them, right?
Mm.
So we're in a really bad situation, family, and it's because we don't want to support any real leadership. We don't want to follow a plan, and so that's why I wrote the Black City Plan. But I just find that people are apathetical to to it, and I say, well, I could do. I wrote it, and I just continue on and write more things, more structures, and it's available if you want it. But if you don't want it, and like here you come and you're saying there's free money and grants. Yeah, you got to work for it. You got to follow, but you could there's free money. But I am influential. Like, remember Selma, Dr. Selma Bartholomew?
Mm-hmm.
She ran for mayor of New York.
Okay.
She uh she didn't, of course, she did not win,
Yeah.
but Dr. Selma Bartholomew, she took my ideas of the Black City Plan and she ran for mayor. She got on a ballot. She got
Nice.
on a ballot. Said what?
I said nice.
Yeah, she got on a ballot. But when it came down to elections, people were saying this is. I was out there, of course, with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was out there petitioning with her, and I got a chance to listen to Black people. First, she was blocked by the NAACP and the Black Democrats and the
What?
Black Purpose. Yes, the Abyssinian Baptist Church, they gave Cuomo uh, 40 minutes to speak in their church. They gave Adrian Adams, who was the city council person, 20 minutes, and they gave Dr. Selma B 90 seconds, and said and ended it by saying, "Let the church play the music and let the church say Amen." And so they wouldn't. Dr. Selma Bartholomew, who ran for mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rules in New York is to get matching funds, you have to raise $197,000 and spend $197,000 to get matching funds.
Right.
She she got on the ballot with her blood, sweat, and tears,
Mm.
right? And with her volunteers. So she was able to get 5,000 signed petitions that were
Mm-hmm.
accepted, right? But when I ran into people during election day, they was like, uh, voting for a woman is a wasted vote, right?
Mm.
That uh, that is pretty much what they said. It's a wasted vote. So what they did is they put their themselves uh, they put their vote to Cuomo, and Cuomo was for former governor, and he got kicked out of the governorship, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so he tried to run for the mayor of New York,
Mm-hmm.
and Black folks who got a sharecropping mentality, they went for Cuomo, and watch this. He lost. He
Mm.
lost to a young Indian uh, person, somewhere under a person under 30 years old. But Black folks put their energy to their massa and lost, and they blacked other Black candidates. So I'm in a situation where um, Black folks don't want to do anything for Black folks, and then Black folks do the worst things to Black folks, and then they feel that they can prey on Black folks. So it's not only ignoring the possibilities that we can do together. It's the fact of the matter is Black folks have a right to be distrustful of Black folks, because Black folks won't prey on anybody else but Black folks.
Mm.
They won't. They won't. Uh, and so in New York, there are so many young people in prison for gun charges because they give you an automatic 5 years. They're not walking around with guns to protect themselves, except for protect themselves from other Black folks, but also do crimes on Black folks. So we need a plan, and at some point we need to stand up to people who have been around for 10, 15 years who haven't really done anything for our people, except for get donations, book signed, and things like that. So I'm gonna stop right now and just listen.
So the plan that you speak of should have what basic elements?
Okay, well, one thing is governance. Uh, in our county and in our small cities, in our Black cities, right? if we don't control the governance, then other groups of people are going to come in. For example, Walmart is going to come in. So if you don't control the laws to make sure that small businesses survive, then there won't be any small businesses, right? If you don't control the laws of municipal and county real estate, then other groups will come in and not and get acres and acres and acres, hundreds of acres for their plants, right? If you don't control the laws when there's affordable housing, then people will be redlined out of it, and or how can I say, they won't make the threshold to get inside of the affordable housing. If we don't control the laws, then how could I say, we have no control over education. Who teaches our children? Who gets the jobs in education? Some of the biggest budgets are policing and education. Education is, if you look at it, you'll be surprised at how big those budgets are, because we have free education. So that means the cities and counties manage that. But now they've made public education fail, and so it goes back to what you were talking about. The privates come in, and so so then they got these other things that no, you can. Okay, so even in the public school systems, now you have to buy uniforms. Who do you buy uniforms from? Right? It's there to tax you. So there's something, if you don't control the laws, there's something called black debt, right? Black debt is, I want to take Chris, for example. Every portion from your toe to the longest strand of hair on your body, right, is taxed by some corporation. When you get paid, there are at least 20 companies. They get paid when you get paid. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Right? Soon as you get paid, there are at least 20 companies, and those those taxes are going higher. Right? Your food bill, your transportation bill, your gas bill, right? Your kids' education, right? Your wife needs, your then it's your parents, the sick, the grandparents, the so at the end of the day, you're just a walking paycheck.
Yeah.
Now, who fixes that? Well, laws can fix that, right? So we don't want to be involved in the laws, right? Then it's look, right now you could buy, watch this, you could buy mini homes, right? You could put them on your land, but who stops that? The county and municipal laws say that you can't put this structure on your own land.
Land, right. Zoning.
Yeah.
You can't rent. So you could put up, you could put up tiny homes. Seniors can live in tiny homes. They don't need those big houses. They could sell those houses, right? That are eating them up on gas bills, electrical bills, right?
Mhm.
Some of those houses that our seniors have, they're not worth living in.
They're not
They're
worth it,
just,
exactly.
Yep.
right? But who controls that? Zoning, right?
Zoning. That's true.
Yeah.
So the first thing to power is getting in groups of people who care about,
Our interest.
yes, there you go. So law and governance is the first part of any structure, and other people, they use this well. When you go into some of these white communities,
Mhm.
you don't get ticketed. You go into a black community, you get ticketed for everything.
Yeah.
That's true. So watch this. Wait, before you go further, Reggie, hold on. I want to show you something. Because we're gonna use the real case scenario. Because this is going on right now.
Don't let him lose his thought. He going.
I know
He
he
went.
going in,
Yeah.
but he helping me. Hold on. Reggie ain't gonna lose no thought because Reggie know this stuff like the back of his hand.
Yeah, he do.
Well, hold on, watch. So he's speaking truth, and we having real live conversations about this right now. Hold on, let me I gotta pull the map. Hold on. Regaining. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go through let me get the link. I have it right here. I want to show people in real time what Reggie's talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you how this is happening in real time with us right now. That's why I want to show it what he's talking about. We actually having this problem. Well, not problem. We are going through this in real time on how because Lower Richland consists of 3 areas: Hopkins, Gaston, and Eastover. But Eastover is an actual municipality, which is a black township. It's has a black mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's that? Somebody saying, huh?
No, I said,
Oh yeah. And so we are working on educating him and helping him get his power and oh man, hold on. I missed something, Mr. H. And get some sustainability in his area. So he's part of a larger, of course, Richland County. So Eastover is part of Richland County. And so Richland County is doing their comprehensive plan right now, which Eastover is a part of. And so everything Dr. Reggie's speaking about right now is relevant to this conversation. Let me show you the map. So see, this is us right here. I'm in the corner. You can't see me, but I'm in this picture. I was at that meeting. Let me go to the map. Hold on. Let's see the scenarios because it's going to show you a map. See, we doing community engagement right here. So the first time they did this, we weren't involved because we were not paying attention, and we allowed them to let the nuclear plant do a 40-year license, and they usually do 5-year license. They do a 40-year license, and they rezone 51 acres of agriculture and changed it to industrial, highly industrial. That's the Congaree. And so they cut into the Congaree area. Hold on. I'm getting there. Y'all bear with us, sister. I gotta get to the maps.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
I'm gotta get to the maps. Hold on. Shoot. Dang it. I know I just had this. Hold on. Ugh. Hold on.
Fire.
This thing has it'll show you they have it broken out in scenarios. Hold up.
Fire.
I know. Hold on. Here you go. Right here. So wait, let me see which one I want to show you. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this one. So they came to the meeting and they issued everyone a map. And on this map, oh, so they showed everyone a map, and on the map, it shows. Hold up, let me make it. Can y'all see it? It highlighted the whole Richland County. Let's see if I can get the whole thing on one. It showed um areas of housing, economic corridors and centers, areas where you have availability that they can build. They showed the rural lifestyle, and then they showed agriculture, right? So you have, hold on, let me see if I get it all on one page. Go up. So the green spaces is open spaces. Those are marked for, oh man, marked for conservation, right? Doesn't mean it's not protected by any law, but we would hope that they don't, interfere with those areas. Then these lighter green areas is agriculture. We only have 4% now because they've made a whole lot of changes. As you notice, we don't have a lot of agriculture anymore. And the little bit they have is probably privately owned. Residential, all of the yellow is zoned for residential. That means a lot of people probably sold some property because a lot of this is probably a lot of property, but they're trying to get at this property so that they can build. And then you have these red areas as activity, and then you have this light purple is employment centers, and then you have this area. All of this is military. This is probably Fort Jackson. This is probably McIntyre over here, which is the Air Force base. This is probably Army base there. And then you have a city or township, which is the blue. And I think this one over here is the town of Eastover. That area right there, right? So, and so basically what they've given out, let me go back, is they're saying, let me go to the scenarios. They're saying, hey, they're showing you exactly what's going on. And then they're saying, we're going to, with these different scenarios, they went through each scenario. So I showed you the first scenario. That was A. This is B, leveraging centers. So I showed you A, which is mostly residential. So scenario B, so they're showing you potentials of what they can do with the county. So this is B. Give you a little bit more agricultural, a little less housing, a little bit more of your city and township, right? And then let's look at C. Richland. And then C. This is the part when Reggie say people don't want to plan. You're not getting into what your local government is doing. And then when we're reactionary, things start happening, you don't know what's going on. So this is C. This is what all the open space is, an opportunity. And so they're marking up and saying, hey, that first one with all that yellow space and housing, they're saying that's basically them saying is we about to develop all of that. We all that area, we about to put houses in all that area. You guys say you had lack of housing. Housing was an issue. You needed more affordable housing. Then one or two things gonna happen. You gonna sell it, or we gonna take it. That's what's going on right now for us. And people are trying to figure out how you're gonna keep the developers out. Lane sustainability, potential growth. And so all of these brown area, they're saying that's potential growth. They're saying area not receiving county growth. And so they're saying, okay, so if all of this in the brown is not receiving county growth, then guess what? We getting ready to put some money in that and we gonna grow it. So one or two things is gonna happen. You're gonna gentrify yourself or we're gonna gentrify you. So you have to get involved. You have to get involved with your local government.
You have to, and yeah, and you have to, and the problem is again, conditions should unite us and force us to follow through. But we have a generation, the post civil rights generation, right? Uh, Sorry, shoot, of young people, and and they are our biggest, how can I say, fruit basket. But they have been, they had a plan for them, that is to uh, force them mentally into the entertainment thing of wanting jobs in entertainment and basketball, and then the other group into uh, dependency on, or dependencies, whether the dependency is on marijuana or any type of drugs, or dependency on bad habits, or dependencies, and and there's a high rate of pregnancy among our young women, right? That where they get pregnant early, and then they're just out of the workforce, and then controlling the opportunities. And so, because our civil rights generation, they got the civil rights, so they got bought out. Don't think that they didn't get civil rights. They got civil rights. These are the ones who are 60, no, 70 plus years old. So those are the people from the civil rights people, and those are largely amount of the gatekeepers. Uh, so the civil rights was their payout, right? And we can look at that as if we would get reparations. A particular generation would get it,
Oh,
but
I heard that
that
before.
yeah, that generation, so the civil rights generation is the model of what would happen in reparations. So they get they're the ones who had pensions. That was the last group of people who had pensions, right? For the most part, um, and they took care of themselves. They bought their houses and they bought their cars and living off their pensions, and they are doing nothing. But they're gatekeepers uh, for the developers, right? Then there was this generation that's like my generation, and I think some of your generation, up until about 45, from 60 to 45. This generation, we have not yet hit the uh, the mark for Social Security, right? Uh, and we're being pushed out of the workforce. And then it's our children's generation, who we give them everything that they have, but they are really not productive. They're not really productive. And then there's a generation beneath them. Children are having children, and all they got is they want their hands out, right? And yes.
I was gonna say, you said a mouthful when you said the generation, the 60, the not eligible for retirement, because that's one of the limit with the bill, is that they changed the age, the eligibility for benefits from 60 to 65. And so if you're already out of the workforce and you're supposed to have that working hourly work hour of 80 hours a month, and you already out of the workforce, you already at a have an issue. You already at a standstill. Because now you got to go volunteer for 80 hours or go try to find a job for 80 hours to qualify for some benefits.
If you didn't, I haven't. See, that's what we haven't. I haven't understand this whatever they call it for bill. So you're saying right now is that me who's 60 years old, at 62 years old, I can't get any Social Security benefits. I gotta wait to 65.
Not the Social Security. It's the SNAP and the Medicaid. The SNAP in particularly. I'm gonna send you a video. There's a synopsis. This guy, he did a really good job on it. It's about 46 minutes long. I'm gonna send it to your email right now. You can listen to it when you get a chance. And he breaks it down in really simple terms. But the SNAP, they raised the age from between 18 and 65, and you have to work at least 80 hours a month to qualify
For SNAP or
for SNAP. Yeah, for SNAP.
Wait, for food benefits or for all benefits?
Food benefits. Food
so benefits. You have to work 80 hours
a month
and still be under the poverty mark to get SNAP.
Yes.
Okay, so now it's going to be to get any foods, what they call food stamps. I'm not on SNAP, right? I'm not on SNAP. But now, but I know so many people that are on SNAP. It's not that I can't qualify for SNAP. I definitely could qualify for SNAP, but then now you got people walking around and will be starving, right?
But
Social Security starving.
But Social Security is not supposed to be taxed anymore.
Right. So if you right, but okay, so I'm 60. I up until this bill at 62, I would get if I apply for it, I would get I'll probably get about $1,200 a month, right? I would get about $1,200 of Social Security prior to this bill.
Right.
Prior to this bill, I don't know what I'm eligible for at 62 years old. So
you can go to ssa.gov and see what you're eligible for. It'll show you.
At some point it did, so that's why I know from all my work hours, right? I was able to get if Social Security, I was able to get something like $1,200, right? But I now have to go and relook it, and they put in some different type of gates make it harder for you to look. I had to get a form in the mail, but nevertheless, I didn't vote it anymore. So that's my own issue. But the reason is that we didn't vote for Harris.
You're breaking up, Reggie.
Because,
yeah, you breaking up.
What?
You breaking up.
Breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Yeah.
Some alphabet boys is on you.
Okay. So
I said them alphabet boys is on them.
Oh, now he dropped out. Yeah, he's on point. Definitely is on point. The plan, starting from your local government on down to how these benefits and things and how it's going to affect you. So if we have to go back to how our ancestors operated and how they were able to galvanize and take care of one another, then if you might want to start getting involved with your local city and county, and if you're in some states, parish, right now, because they're making those decisions right now. Um, if you're fortunate enough, maybe you're in private industry, corporations, and maybe they're talking to you about employment and the future of the corporation, and maybe some safe havens they may have in place for you, then you may not have much to worry about. But for those of you who maybe in state government, local government, in or maybe you are on assistance, we don't know everybody's situation, but if you are, then you might want to listen to that video that I played on yesterday. Or go to the channel, the Money Investor channel, and look for it. It kind of give you an understanding. Or search YouTube and look for some lawyers and folks who are talking about it, so you can kind of get ahead, because you want to start planning now, and not a scare tactic, just lining some things up based on some opportunities that may no longer exist. And if your state is like my state, the Carolinas, we are lining up similar to what the feds are doing. So we definitely have to plan here. And I've already started looking at some ways to things that I probably need to start putting in place. We had already changed our eating habits. So we're not really too much concerned about eating certain things, not buying so much, so not eating out a lot and things of that nature. We're not really concerned about that part. We travel smart. We try to do everything on the way out and the way back in. We don't move around a lot. We haven't been participating in a whole bunch of entertaining activities. We haven't traveled much this year. Matter of fact, we're going to travel this summer. That's probably be the first time we've traveled other than some type of emergency, or I think I went home once in this quarter. But we've saved, we've kind of shifted some finances around so that we can be kind of prepared economically. We're going to shift some more, as much as we can anyway, just in case. I know many people don't have that opportunity, but you can. I've also we've gotten into going back and sell things again. I've been working on, I know y'all saw my little video. I was reorganizing my jewelry because we are selling jewelry on the weekend. And also some CBON smoothies. We'll be selling that too. Working for SNAP benefits is a good thing. Only lazy people are against that idea. Oh yeah, you're absolutely Meta Judah. Hey, listen, I have no quarrels with them raising the hours for people to work for SNAP. I'm all for it. I'm all for taking care those who have already worked in the workforce, our senior citizens, and giving them some SNAP versus the young adult who may be chilling all day, who's on SNAP with the million kids. But with some regulatory, guidance. I'm concerned though about those in communities where there is no workforce, right? So like I talk about the Lower Richland area, there's a Dollar General. I think there's a Food Liner. There's a Dollar Tree. There's a gas station. No, maybe there's 2 gas stations. And then for maybe about 20 minutes up the road, there's more opportunities coming towards Columbia. A lot of those Walmart, a lot of those jobs are minimum wage. Transportation is far and few between. They don't have access to the public transportation. Hopefully some of them are getting the hours they need. So those are, food. It's a food desert. It's a lot of forming, and so we're galvanizing around farm initiatives. Um, so community coming together and farming on behalf of maybe providing service for service, right? Um, Maybe whatever the farmer doesn't sell, it redistributes into the community to eliminate waste. That's an opportunity. Or maybe they create a program to uh, decompose and come up with some type of, I don't know, maybe create some type of device for decomposing to eliminate waste. All of that is a plan. All of it takes time. Um, for those who do need a plan, is where it becomes important, you know. And as Reggie said, sometimes we don't take it serious until crisis arise. What do you guys think?
Oh, 100%. Like right now, I've seen the slow, subtle changes in the grocery store. This past 4th of July really opened up my eyes to a lot of things that basically what you guys are saying is coming down the pike, and like nobody actually planning for it. So, I mean, myself, I've just been saving more, still investing, trying to find opportunities in the market, but just trying to keep cash on the side if I can.
Hmm.
And then actually, I started a mini garden, so I got a little something
Oh,
sprouting up. Yeah, proud of myself. I'm gonna take a picture of it right quick, put it in the back check. But I
oh,
got
that's
some raggedy,
cool.
I got some raggedy ass tomatoes that's trying to grow. Um, I got
what you,
two mango plants I'm trying to grow.
what you put it in, Brandon?
A little pot. I got it sitting outside. Um, yeah. Uh, two mangoes.
Hmm.
Uh, cherries, not cherries, tomatoes, and
Hmm.
then I got a watermelon
Yeah.
plant.
Oh, cool.
Man, what you got to say about that, Mo?
Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon got me beat. I'm going.
Self-sufficient.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get me one. I'm gonna catch you up, Brandon. I'm gonna get me. I'm gonna get my brother to build me a box, and I'm gonna do something too.
Now see, Brandon. Last time she was trying to throw the all the black women farmers in our face, and you over there doing your thing as a black man. Yeah.
Brandon drop off.
Oh man, his thing must have went out. Reggie went out too.
Yeah, Reggie gone. This is this is pretty good. I'm Brandon back. Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, he said put the link back. Hold on, let me put the link back.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon. You a black man planting planting seeds, growing fruit and vegetables. Yeah. Straight like that.
Oh, get straight back to the roots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to say about that, Mo. Black man handling things.
And
Whatever.
you know what's crazy? It wasn't even that hard to plant this stuff though. I mean, like obviously, like the seed aspect, but like the way these things are sprouting up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's sprouting up like weed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be.
Get you go to the thrift store or the dollar store, get you some raggedy vases or whatever for like $3, $5 or $1. Get you
Mm-hmm.
some potting soil. Instead of going to like Menards or like Big Lots to get the seeds, I took them from the grocery store.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Grocery seconds. Yeah.
Now, Brandon, let me put you on game. USDA got a grant for first time farmers who learning how to farm.
What you mean? I can get I
Yeah,
get a grant for.
yeah. So how much yards? You don't have to have an acreage of yard. You just have to have, you just have to be learning. Don't worry, we got a farm workshop on Friday. I'm gonna get all the information for you.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me
Hmm.
take a picture. I took a picture of the plants. I'm gonna put them in the back chat, but
But there's hydroponics, so
Yep.
you don't have to have You can grow hydroponics in your garage.
Yep.
No, you need your cars in there. I'm so sorry, right? Because you don't want your cars to get
Yeah,
rained on.
I need my car in my garage, Reggie. I'm sorry, you got me on that one. But I do have some space though. I have some
Nah,
space.
even the shed. Like put a tarp over the shed. I mean, in the summertime. I mean, so
You
the
can go to
other
Home
excess rainwater
Depot.
won't get in.
You can go to Home Depot and buy one of those little sheds and have it installed for less than $200. And you can put hydroponics in there. And you can grow. You don't have to do all of that tilling of the land and all of that. It'll grow it better hydroponics, and you can grow all type of you can buy tomatoes. You could bean sprouts. You can do all of that. And guess what? It's really labor free because you ain't got no dirt, you ain't got to till. All you got to do is pay for the electricity for the lights, right? And so some people have what you call trucks. They have these hydroponic trucks, right? And then when it's time to they did have y'all seen them in the amount of produce that could be grown out of those things?
Yeah, Ali Duael does it.
Yeah. So y'all should know about it, uh and so you could sell your excess, right? You can give it away, right? But you could be an epicenter because people like fresh food,
Yep.
right? And if you have the money, you could get one of those trucks, and it could be actually profitable because you don't need the square footage of farm space. So farming, and then you can grow exotic foods that people like. Like what's that lettuce? There's not the regular.
Kale, spring,
Yeah, but there's a lettuce that's really beautiful.
spring.
Huh?
That spring, the green, the spring one.
No, it's not the spring lettuce.
Uh,
It's a real.
romaine, romaine.
No, not romaine. It's another. It's a real pretty.
Is
It's a
it arugula?
no. I'll tell you right now. And it's very expensive. You go in the supermarket, it's something like $5 for this type of lettuce.
Um,
Let's see.
What happened?
It's
we trying to name
it's a
a
lettuce.
green.
Very very expensive. Restaurants use it a lot. It's called
I was gonna say spinach, but no, it's not.
I'll tell you in a second.
No, he didn't say spinach. He said
It's a very very expensive lettuce that all the restaurants actually use. It looks similar to a Boston, but it's not that. Let me see.
royal oak leaf,
But it's very
grand rapids.
no. I'll tell you. When I
Grand.
tell it to you, you'll know. When I tell it to you,
Oh, you say what romaine? Butterhead.
but is it Butterhead?
Butterhead.
I think it's. I think it's.
Oak
But
leaf.
I think.
Batavia.
I think it's. I think it's Butterhead. I think it's Butterhead. And it's a real pretty. In all the restaurants,
Soft, tender green leaf, sweet and delicate. Good for wraps and light salads.
yeah, I think it's. Yeah, that's kind of like a restaurant type lettuce. Let me
Mhm.
just check. The romaine and all of that stuff. No, it's definitely not no iceberg. No iceberg. But those type of restaurants buy them because it's a staple in high end restaurants.
Well, I'm gonna have to go look for me some butter lettuce.
Yeah,
Some
it's
butterhead.
Butterhead, and then you could, and so some of these hydroponic places, you can whatever you don't want to eat or you don't want to give away, you could sell it and to the local markets, to the local restaurants because they're waiting for it on the damn truck, and you can get it to some of these produces you can grow with hydroponic. You can get it to these restaurants uh, before the truck come in,
Mm.
right? So that's a big business. The hydroponic industry is a big industry, and it doesn't require. Let me see.
Excuse me.
Okay, so let me just pull up a website and show you one of these trucks. But okay, so I'm just gonna show my screen, and I'll get to where I want to. So here we go. Settings, present, share screen. Okay, great. And here it goes right here. Uh, I think I'm sharing. You have to put it in. Great. So so some of these systems are very affordable, right? So this one right here, $79, right? Right. But those are the small systems. Now I'm going to show you the big. I'm going to show you in a second the big systems, right? This one over here is a hydroponic greenhouse. This one's $3,000, but this is more, of course, uh, these types right here that you can buy. Uh, these are more industrial, right? So let's say for you and your family, you would use just one, and the rest would go to restaurants and stuff, local restaurants and things like that. Let's say another one, and a lot of these things you can actually buy from you wouldn't buy it in the States, you would buy it in Asia. And then there is, and so why we don't do this? I Let me see. Why we don't do this? I don't know. I don't know. Especially people in the more rural areas, right? I don't know. And so, um, right? So when harvest time comes, this is just straight cash, right? And all it is PVC, and and you have to buy some bedding for it, and there you go. And then there's the hydroponic trucks. Let's see, trucks, sorry, hydroponic uh, growth centers, something like that. Uh, let's check. Let's look at this one right here. I think this is called Farm Out. Let's see what this has to say. Um, what is this Farm Out type of thing? I'm gonna have to stop sharing my screen and come back in. But there are systems that you could have a whole industry, but you do need the water. But and you do need to. So here's the butterhead lettuce. You see it right here. See the butterhead lettuce down here, right? But
Yeah.
um, uh, so they have they have ready-made systems for us, but we're interested in our cars, right? Uh, Mobile farms, hydroponic mobile farmers powered by green EVs can deliver fresh produce up to 30% faster than traditional methods. And they have all of these type of systems. But you said there's somebody who does it, who actually does it. So you should bring him on your show, right? So this is projected output in kilograms uh, per week, right? So you're looking at 260 kilograms from some of these systems. I'll find a better one. I don't like this one, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and find a better system. So you can grow different types of. Let me see. Stream. Stop sharing. You can you can buy different systems, and that's a mini. That's a big business. That's a big business. uh, farms.
No, 100%. I don't know where I heard this, but somebody said uh, fresh organic seeds is going to be the new currency in the future. Everything's so processed, everything is cut, 5 different ways just to make it taste better, look better, whatever. But they're missing the natural organic, substance from the actual, fruit or vegetable, whatever it is. And like I kept thinking about that quote, and I don't know why I can't, tell you who said it, but like that stuck with me. So I was like, let me just start a little farm. I did this probably like 2 years ago, messed up with the mango, and now I got two of them that's growing right now. But like with this mango plant, you really got to play, you know, the what is it, the temperature game with it. So I had to YouTube some things. I found out that if you take a Sprite bottle, cut it in half, and put it on top of the plant, you can create an atmosphere where the actual mango plant can grow, even if you're in the north hemisphere. So I mean, I'm gonna just keep doing. Reggie, I might go ahead and get that kit and do that. And get some buckhead lettuce.
Oh yeah,
It was buckhead lettuce, or what was it called again?
butterhead.
Butterhead. I said buckhead lettuce. Well, I'm thinking about Atlanta. Butterhead lettuce.
It's called container farmer. Container 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 farmhouses. So container hydroponic. And you grow the food, and then you just bring your you bring it to the local strip mall, right?
Right. Or you can have a contract. If you get a big enough area or a big enough facility where you can grow it all year round, you can contract that out to certain restaurants. Probably some of these upscale restaurants, you can just build a business like you said. Obviously you got charged by the pound, but I mean
Market.
that's a lucrative business.
Especially those that are grown with real seeds. So I share
Yeah.
the screen. Uh, uh, you know, how can I say, you can put it outside your local big ass church, but these are sharing it again. So these are what you call container farms. If you put it up, okay. So they're basically within a container, right? In a container, and this is what it looks like inside. And here's this lettuce that I'm talking about, right? And this is all in the container, right? Here's another look at what one looks like. You put it on your property, put your cars on the sidewalk. Uh, where's this? Sorry.
You
There it
put
goes
your
right
hands on
there.
the sidewalk.
Yeah, put your cars on the sidewalk, and here it goes right here, right? And that's your growth center. That's what it looks like, and it's big business. It's really big uh, business um, for people. Let's try to find another one that there's a very popular system that's out here, and I'll try to find it. So this each container makes $180,000. This
Mm.
YouTube video, this one makes $180,000 a year. Each container makes $180,000 a year.
And she probably got them containers for free with the Equip program.
Right, you could build it yourself. This one over here, uh, Square Roots, right? So they're popping. They have a couple of containers stacked, right?
Mhm.
And you can well you how can I say? There's enough YouTube videos on this uh, that you could resource yourself on. Elon Musk's brother, if y'all don't know, his brother, uh, he's big on. Let's put up Elon Musk's brother. He's big on this. Elon
Mm.
Musk brother, right? He's here. This is Elon Musk's brother, right? And Kimball is making farming three-dimensional, right? So this is one of his systems, right? This is one of his systems, right? And it's big. It's really, really big business. And um, of course, he's Elon Musk's brother, so he has a staff. Uh, but it's big. It's big, big business. And so high-end restaurants, Kimball's vertical farming, it's called Square Root. It seems like, and uh, but you could build one of these yourself, or you can partially build it yourself. But it's big, big business. And so some of them, you see that they don't use electricity, right? They don't use electricity. They use electricity, but they use it with solar panels,
Mm.
right? They use it with solar panels. And so all you need now is the water, right? And so this is shipping container success, right? And there you go. And then you just send it to you put it out on a strip mall or something like that, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And you have people sell the produce for you. Let me just see. Ship container farms. Um, and that's where we started at. And so this YouTube video, I think that we should watch.
Okay. Okay, what you about to play? Okay, you about to play one?
No, I'm not playing nothing. I'm not gonna play it on anybody's channel, but I'm just trying to show the setup for what these things look like and how profitable they are. And so there's no reason why. Listen, some people, churches and stuff, they can probably get grant money to do this, or other people can get grant money just to do this. Just do this.
Yeah,
Right.
individual homeowners. There's put in um farm you could put in farm USDA put in USDA farm grants.
Okay. So USDA farm
Grants.
farm grants, and we're gonna say hydroponics.
Yeah, you can do that too. It don't really matter. I was just gonna show you all the ones that they have. Yep, right there.
Urban agriculture and innovative
Oh yeah,
production.
that's for the city folk. That's you, Brandon.
And then over here,
Wait,
funding.
Brandon, you in the city or you in the Are you in the rural area or the urban?
So,
I'm in the urban or suburbs, whatever.
Okay, so you would be the top one.
so this one over here, funding hydroponic vertical farms, grants, loans, and more.
Yep, click that one.
Okay.
So so I'm gonna tell you which one lining up with the big beautiful bill because some of them will revoke, but the bill has the 4 programs that are still available right now. Scroll down. Close out of it. Scroll down. As a matter of fact, yeah. So if you go, click on forms.gov.
Click
Reggie.
on get out of here and go to forms.
Go to forms.gov.
Or farmers.gov.
Yeah, farmers.gov. Yeah, right here. Because Brandon, if you go here, they're starting to have their meetings right here, right now, and do drop in and to share all the programs that are available for grants right now. So if you go down, you'll see. Come down, Reg. Hold up. Come down. Let's see. Go back up. There's a part on here where it shows the programs. Hold up. Go up.
Apply for FSA loan or
No, not a loan. It's gonna be. No, it's not a loan. Go up. You shouldn't
This
have
is
to.
farmers.gov, so this is not farm.gov. So this is
Yeah, this is where we want to be. Go to conservation. Go up something. Go up.
conservation.
I mean the other way. Go. It's under the green part. Go up at the top. It's at the top.
Oh, it's at the top. You see it.
Yeah, all the way up,
Okay.
all the way to the top,
Oh,
and
oh,
like the tabs.
the tippity top.
Yeah,
Conservation.
you see conservation. Yeah.
Yeah, there. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So right here, right. So you see how it has soil health. So all these different areas right here, and this is where we get tripped up. Our people get tripped up because we've been like soil health. What am I going to do with that? Well, these are grant opportunities for you if you're a farmer and you're growing things, right? All of this helps what you're doing. You just got to make it make sense for what you're doing. So soil health, like you said, Brandon, when you was talking about growing those mangoes and what you had to do with it in order to make it work for that area. Conservation, putting those sustainability practices in place to the hydroponics, those tools, those apparatuses that you need to build those to farm. Like when you drill down into it, if you go to a video on YouTube, if you bring up the video on YouTube, grants for farmers, you'll see YouTube videos in it, and it'll show you 4 different grants, and they'll break them down which ones you use for what, and you'll be surprised the
Yeah.
money you have out there for farming.
Wait, where's this at? This is on this website right here.
Well,
That's no
this
video?
website will have the wording, but will help you out. If you go to YouTube, what you want to do, you want to back your way back into it. So if you go to YouTube, hold on, let me show it.
I'm stopping my screen
Yep, that's cool.
and I'm frozen at the same time. So
You're frozen. Hold on.
yeah, but
Share
it's
screen. Share. Hold on. Let me change. Let's change this video out.
yeah. I clicked on. I'm frozen. So control.
You're frozen, Red.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Shift. Alt. Shift.
And I'm Excel with data rail.
If you put in farmer grants 2025, you got to say 2025 because you know things have changed. You stroll down. Yeah, she has a really good video. I'm gonna play it, a little bit of it.
In this video, I'm going to break down all of the different types of free things I am seeking out through the USDA right now as a first-generation farmer, as someone who has never gardened a day in my life, as someone who just had this Amish barn behind me built. I really don't know what I'm doing, but because I used to work for the state of New York 12 years ago now, I do know that there is money allocated to these programs and they have to give out that money. There's a bunch of different things. I am working with the
Hold on.
people embrace nature in a way we haven't in a really long time. And I think it's the start of something beautiful. Follow along, subscribe if you guys like this video. I have so much more content coming your way. Break down all things land loans, starting a farm, working with the Amish.